Hi there, my name is Jan Malloch. I am the Master of Positive Achievement. Now, I've created this video just to let you get to know me a bit more. A lot of people, for instance, wonder about my accent, so you certainly will find out about that. Now, the thing is about the internet nowadays is it's a bit more than just putting a page up on a website, because remember, we are people and you want to get liked, known and trusted by the people you communicate with. So this is essentially why I've made this video, so you can get to know me a bit more and basically get to know a bit more about my background, who I am, what makes me want to make videos, and you never know, you might even like me. Okay, so it's all about building rapport, isn't it? Now, I'll just tell you a little bit about myself. I am a lady in her 50s now, but that age does not matter at all. I was born in Kuwait. My father was a geologist with the Kuwait Oil Company. He was an American citizen, and my mother, she came from Scotland. And they met in, that would have been 1952 in Kuwait. My mother was a personal secretary. And so they got married, and the company insisted that all married women were not allowed to remain in employment. So my mum then found herself obviously being basically a wife at home. So I came along 2 years later. And as I say, I was born in Kuwait, and we lived there probably for about 6 months. But my family then travelled around the Middle East quite a bit. So in fact, we travelled to a lot of places where we're all hearing about in the news now, you know, Tripoli, Libya, etc., Beirut. And then when I was 4 years old, my father decided that we as a family should go back to the United States. So I then lived in Tarrytown, New York, until I was the age of 10. And my mother and father divorced at that stage, so my mother decided, because she was from Scotland, that she would come back to live here. And I'm actually still living in Scotland, just outside Edinburgh. And often, you know, people, you take what you've got for granted. Now, if I take the bus into Edinburgh, I will pass Edinburgh Castle, for instance. And you know, a lot of Americans, they would give you the right arm just to be able to do that. So we shouldn't really take anything for granted that we have in our lives. So I'm very pleased to be in Scotland. Now, the thing was that certainly I had my schooling here. And when I left school, I went on to university to do a degree in geography. I went to Glasgow University. And it was only once I had done my family history research that I discovered that my great-grandfather had gone to Glasgow University, although he was a Canadian, just to really complicate matters. But anyway. So of course, it didn't quite work out with the university thing. I didn't enjoy geography, and I then went off to work just in a boutique. In those days, in 1970s, it was called a boutique, basically a ladies' clothes shop. And then I joined the civil service, and I stayed there for 10 years. And my job was essentially just to help people get jobs. So I've always been sort of helping people to advance in their lives, whether it's through getting jobs or whether to learn new things. Now, after the civil service, I then had 2 children, and of course that is where you really experience a lot in your life, and you have to learn an awful lot of skills. So once they were at school, I then went to work as an interviewer for a factory here in Scotland, and they actually manufactured computers. Now, that was in the days when Scotland did manufacture computers. Of course, now it tends to be with China, etc. But so I was there, and this was suddenly the computer revolution came in. And I didn't even know how to turn on a computer. And it really didn't make any difference to me because I was just interviewing people anyway. I didn't even need a computer. But I then bought a computer because I started to do a degree in mathematics and I needed a computer. And so I taught myself how to turn it on. And basically I caught the bug of basically fixing computers. And I then decided to go into network engineering as a job. So basically I managed to persuade the employer that I was perfectly suitable for the job, and I got the job. And I spent 10 years basically fixing network connections, making sure that bosses could see their bosses in the other side of the world, etc., etc. And then about 3 years ago I decided, well, do you know what? I'm fed up fixing machines. I'm going to start helping people. I woke up one morning and I noticed my bookcase, and it had books like Maximum Achievement by Brian Tracy and various other things by Tony Robbins. And I thought, do you know what? I would like to do that. I think that that's my calling in life. And that's basically what I did. I literally just resigned from my job in 2008, not really knowing what I wanted to do. I knew I didn't want to be a coach, but I knew that I was here. My mission in life was to teach. And that is really what I'm doing at the moment, is I want to make sure I teach you to be successful, to achieve more. And I know that I can do this through speaking assignments, through speaking engagements, through workshops, through retreats, and through my digital products. And so I want you to look round, and please subscribe to me on YouTube, because I will be bringing out a lot of videos which are going to be helpful. I'm bringing out a membership site in the very near future, and I would just love you to join me on Facebook, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, just to get to know me a bit more. And I would love you just to say hi to me. Great. Okay, well, have a fantastic day, and I wish you every success in your life. Be positive, achieve, and enjoy.